everybody, it's Steve the Republican Goodfella. How you doing? So today I have with me a very special and honored guest, my daughter, Ashley Reed. Now, the reason you might be asking yourself why you're having your daughter on, that's kind of, playing favorites, but yeah, I am. But really, Ashley here is an expert in real estate in both here and New Jersey. So I'd like to tap into some of her knowledge, and I thought she could bring us a nice perspective from a younger person, which often we neglect to do. So without further ado, my daughter Ashley, welcome to the Republican Goodfella. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, finally. I've been trying to get on your podcast for a while,
Well, we have a very strict, hard process to get you on.
Very long list, I know.
Yeah, the list is just, tremendous. Even Trump has been trying. So, he's busy, I'm busy, we miss each other, it happens.
I've already met him, so I know.
Yeah, I know you.
Rub it in every chance I get.
Ashley, let's get right to it. As a real estate agent and broker and instructor, she also teaches about real estate. What do you see in today's day with Bidenomics and the craziness that's going on? What are you seeing both in New Jersey and here? Give me your perspective.
Overall, obviously we saw during the pandemic, real estate was really booming. People were getting in, we were making money, both on, sides of representation, but also in the clientele. People were getting great deals, even though things were going, over list and everything like that. It was stimulating our economy in a way that needs to be consistent. Although, yes, those interest rates were very appealing and we'll never see them again, it gave a boost in areas that were really necessary at the time. But the moment things started to slow down, the powers that be, as I call them, Bidenomics and all them, they unfortunately made, certain decisions like the Fed to increase interest rates, and it's just caused such a backlog, not to mention not as many people these days want to sling the hammers and do the work to build. So the new builds are coming up slower. Yes, everyone's doing flips and flops and everything like that, but it's halted the real estate part of the economy because they've made it impossible for buyers to buy and sellers to really sell. It's putting everybody stress all over ourselves and the ones around us. So through both states, I've seen that.
Now, would you say that, I know I've heard that there's a lot of first-time home buyers that are pushed out of the market because of the interest rates.
Yes, and although they're trying to provide grants like first-time home buyer grants and things like that, there's still money to be brought to the table, and the requirements to get these loans are becoming increasingly more difficult. It's unfortunate because obviously we want more people in homes. It's the American dream, and in my opinion, it's the last piece of the American dream that we have. Unfortunately, when you have too many powers taking, it kind of brings in a siphon and a bottleneck. So that's where we're at. But on top of that, the proposed NAR settlement is going to really affect the way we do real estate in general.
Okay, could you explain what that is? Because a lot of people, I'm sure I didn't know. Explain what that is.
Yes. In a nutshell, there was multiple lawsuits brought to the big names in real estate. We all know who they are. But unfortunately, a named party was NAR, the National Association of Realtors, which if you're a real estate agent in America, you are a member. We pay dues every year, everything like that. They unfortunately lost their lawsuit, and NAR came up with a settlement that would, one, require more of a negotiation on the seller's part so that they do not have to include a buyer agent split. So that listing agent would just get the commission that they agreed upon, regardless of if they represented both sides or just one side. And unfortunately, if a buyer's agent isn't offered a commission split, there now has to be a buyer's agency agreement with buyers that they would have to bring the money to closing. Where this really negatively affects first-time home buyers are those buyers that are utilizing the VA and the FHA loan, because those closing costs that can be concessioned into the loan, unfortunately, they do not allow for commission to be paid out. So unless that buyer actually has some money to bring to the table to pay your commission representing them, they may go under or unrepresented altogether. That's very troublesome.
And now you know that because you work, one of your specialty is working with veterans, is it not?
Yes, it is. As a veteran of the U.S. Navy, back many moons ago, that is my sweet spot. I really adore working, with them. But I do represent across the board buyers, sellers, veterans, non-veterans, first responders, our police, EMTs. I really hold a really soft spot for the ones that sacrifice for us every day.
So this North settlement basically messed a lot of things up for the people that are looking to buy houses, and the concessions that they normally might get, they're not going to get. Is that the take on it?
Essentially, yes. And they're just honestly going to have to bring more money to the table. So some of these buyers, they're looking forward to being able to utilize that first-time home buyer grant that's like up to $15,000 that can be either utilized as a down payment or a concession towards closing. So that money would be put towards those closing costs. So they wouldn't have to bring as much. Unfortunately, because of this settlement, if they have a buyer's agency agreement, they have to pay that fee themselves at closing to the brokerage.
And with the interest rates at almost, if I'm not mistaken, like around 8%, that requires people to be have to be making more money in order to buy a house, right?
Yes, the national averages to buy a home are pretty much starting at $100,000 at this point and going up and up and up. And that's very hard when the minimum wage is still so low.
I appreciate you giving this information. I'm sure they do. My watchers or listeners or whatever you want to call them appreciate it as well. Now, I also heard from a little birdie, Ashley, that you're a little angry at Mr. Biden. What did he say that upset you?
I'm extremely perturbed with our current president because he, on national television, requested that real estate agents, we give up our commission so that more home buyers can buy their homes. You know what I say to that? Absolutely not. Because I have a value as a professional. So does every other agent, not just the listing agents, buyer's agents, transactional agents, sub-agents. We all do more than just open doors, put on lock boxes, and put signs outside. There is an intricate job that we do at any given point in time. We are dealing with multiple clients, multiple sets of needs, searches, getting things together, scheduling things for our clientele. It is a very in-depth job that requires a lot of my attention and efforts, just as much as every other real estate professional.
Well, any profession.
Yeah, and
expecting one profession to give up the money they make, what do they expect you to live on?
I'm not sure. And to put it in perspective, most jobs, you get a weekly, bi-weekly pay. Military, it's twice a month. For us, it's when we close. So if we don't have a closing for 2 months because that's how long it took to close one deal, what do you expect for us to live on in the interim if you want us to just continue to give up what we have a value in?
Well, I can tell you that Biden doesn't even know what day it is, so he'll forget by next week. Don't even sweat it. But that was wrong of him and the Democrats to expect people to work for no money. But see, they want you dependent on the government. So that's what the crust of it is, really. If he can get you to give up that and work for free, well then, don't worry, you could be dependent on the government and then you'll do what they want. So that's communism, folks. Yeah, that's communism. So not only is Ashley a great real estate agent, and not only as a dad do I say this, but if you have any needs, interests, questions, or anything like that, feel free to contact Ashley. I'll put her information up at the end, and you could contact her, and she'd be glad to help you, especially the veterans out there. Now, Ashley also represented my group. You guys all know that I am the president of Act Right of North Carolina, and we had gotten an invitation to go to Washington, D.C. for Freedom Works, and I couldn't attend because of the birth of my 12 puppies. So, and if you're interested in puppies, let me know. So we sent, Ashley represented our group. And why don't you give us a quick rundown on what happened with that?
Well, I had really very open ideals when it came to the flying.
You didn't know what to expect.
I had no idea what to expect, but it was amazing from start to finish. Freedom Works really takes care of everyone from the moment you get there to the moment you leave. The accommodations, food, entertainment, overall it's a great time. Education, especially. I mean, we dedicated an entire day of many, many great speakers, from representatives to the leader or founder of Freedom Works, as well as so many other people. We were interactive. We got hands-on training. And then the next day was the day at the Capitol, where we met with representatives from both sides. And it was all about the debt crisis that we're really knee-deep in at the moment.
And what was the most surprising thing you heard?
Well, I personally did not know that in the next 10 years, if we do not figure out the right solutions for our debt crisis, that things like Medicare, Social Security, veterans benefits will cease to be paid because we won't have the ability to pay them. Other than that, though, I don't know if you know, but you, Act Right, founder of Act Right of North Carolina, you are featured in Freedom Works' national introduction video that they will show throughout the entire nation at all where they go for hands-on training, because they do. They've come in here.
Yeah, I remember them interviewing me, but I didn't know that they did that.
They did, and of course, in the moment, I had seen him on the video, and in a room full of people where they were from all over the country. I didn't know everyone there. I obviously was like, "That's my dad," and everyone was clapping and excited. So it was really great.
It was really cool. That is great, and I am honored. I am honored because Freedom Works is a great national organization. Visit their website. You can really get a lot of information, and they help you take action, as just like act4america.org that I support as well. Now, something you were telling me was that you were surprised about one other aspect, something about my group, the Act Right group itself. People,
So yeah, that was a really big thing. Understand, I knew nobody going into this, and there was so many times throughout the entire 3-day process where the first night, the training, throughout the training day, people were coming in, not just that were in the training themselves, but people from Freedom Works were coming up and asking, how, Act Right was doing. They were really excited and happy for us with our numbers and what we've been doing down here in North Carolina, and specifically from what I know in Onslow County, what's been going on. And that actually leads me to ask you a question. Now, I know you were very present for the primary, and I know that they're over now. I need your perspective, though.
Oh, so you're going to interview me now? Oh, yeah. Look at this. You're taking over my show. Kids always take over, but that's okay because she's my girl. So you want to know my perspective on the primary? I think we did pretty good. I think we got a few good people in. We definitely made a difference. We put out about, just Act Right alone, about 12,000 voter guides, and then another 8 through associated people that were running, and I think we made a tremendous thing. Where we came up short was at the lower end of the ballot, and I don't even think that was our fault because there was some crazy stuff going on. haven't got really a chance to talk about this, but there were people stealing signs. There was someone, and I'm pretty sure I know who it was. It may have been an actual former GOP chair that was going around. Now I have no proof, but actually I kind of have proof, but I'm not accusing anybody. But literally going to churches with ballots that they're not supposed to print up, because if you print up a ballot, it's supposed to be a different color. Only one that can print it in white is the actual Board of Elections. They were handing out white ballots with the people they wanted marked to people at churches. And people were assuming that the church was approving of this. And I think that muddied the water quite a bit. Also, I found out, and I'll be putting this up on the screen, that the Teachers Association, which there isn't supposed to be a teachers union, but there's a Teachers Association, and the NAACP, which is backed by the Democrats, was doing training back in August. So we had no idea that this was going on. And we had no idea that they were trying to control the outcome of the thing. And they wanted the weakest Republicans to win. And that's what they got. And it was kind of muddy too, because we had people that were pushed to throw their hat in, but only to water down the votes. So that affected the outcome as well. So I really don't take it personal. I'm proud of what we did. I think we made tremendous effort. We did manage to remove George Cleveland and have a nice young guy, Wyatt Gable, who's going to be running in November for the House 14 seat. You know, Ashley, I really appreciate all that information. That's a lot to absorb. So folks, I'm going to stop it right there. Please tune into the next Republican Goodfella episode. Like, share, comment. I want it all. I have a little announcement. I have a new show going to be coming out and about town, which is going to be really cool. Stay tuned for more information on that one. I want to thank Ashley for coming and doing this for us. I felt the information was important to get out. And in a town full of real estate agents, knowing I have one that is actually in 2 different places, 2 different states, giving me information is very valuable. And thank you for going to Freedom Works and representing our group. And I'm very proud that they know who we are across the country. We're becoming well known for what we do. And we don't do it for any kind of praise or any kind of pat on the back. We're not the GOP here. We do it because we care about people, we care about our community, and we're about educating each other and being the best citizens that we can be. So thank you all again. Tune in next time. I love yous all.